Hey guys, and welcome back to the Ether Hub. I'm Simon, of course bringing you more MTG lore. Today we continue the story of Dominaria, our return to the plane that basically invented lore in MTG. We follow the adventures of some old characters like Teferi and Jhoira as they team up with new legends and the Gatewatch to end the Cabal and their demon lord Belzenlok from changing the very history of Dominaria. Let's quickly recap what happened in our last video. Previously, we followed the passionate pyromancer Chandra Nalaar as she went off to find more power. In the first chapter of Dominaria, we saw Nissa and Chandra both run off from the Gatewatch. Now we find that Chandra only did so in order to find the power she would need to face down Bolas. We discover that she sensed the legendary pyromancer Jaya Ballard on Dominaria. Believing she could teach the skills she needed to kill an elder dragon, Chandra tracks her down and runs into another legendary planeswalker, the construct Karn. Chandra's old mentor, Mother Ludi, is revealed to be Jaya herself, and things get a little heated with some trees. Now the adventure continues as this unlikely alliance are picked up by the Weatherlight. But before we continue, a quick reminder that the Ether Hub is powered by you, the fans, especially those who decide to join the Vorthos army. By joining the Vorthos army on Patreon, you not only support the channel, you also get access to our Discord, exclusive content, signed cards, and the ability to vote on topics, and so much more. Learn what it means to join the Vorthos army by checking our Patreon linked in the description below. And now, back to the lore. Our story picks up with Chandra and Jaya having a heated conversation. Yes, I know it's early in the video and I just dropped 2 fire puns on you, but bear with me, there's gonna be a lot more. Chandra's upset that the formerly known Mother Ludi would lie to her all these years. Jaya says that she shouldn't be so self-centered. She lied to everyone. Everyone thought she had died. Jaya gave the most epic response for how she became this Mother Ludi character. Quote, "A long time ago, I went to Ragatha, helped a few people, got drunk, talked a lot, apparently did some impressive pyromancy, then left. 200 years later, I went back and found they'd started a religion based on me." She folded her arms and admitted, "It was all a little embarrassing, frankly." Wow, get him, Granny Jaya. Chandra basically forgives her, although she's still hot under the collar. Yep, there's another one. However, when Chandra asks Jaya for the keys to the kingdom, the secrets to unlocking her potential as a pyromancer, Jaya refuses. Chandra had no interest in learning from her lessons on Ragatha when she was Mother Ludi. Why would she deserve them now as Jaya Ballard? Chandra, of course, in Chandra fashion, storms off and starts up a conversation with Karn, who's been kind of awkwardly just standing back during this argument. This seems to be Karn's theme in Dominaria, the awkward golem. The two planeswalkers get to know one another a little bit, and Chandra learns what Karn's been digging for in the Yavimaya forest. Karn explains he's discovered an artifact known as the Cylex. That's with a C and not an S. So I made a video about this revelation, which you can find linked in the description below, but basically it's a giant world-ending bomb that really messed with Dominaria back in the day when Urza used it. Now this relic seems to be spelled differently, and Karn says Urza's the one who made it, which wasn't the original lore, so it could be something completely different. But regardless if it's the same one or not, which it probably isn't, it's basically the same thing, a massive bomb. And Karn tells her such. Karn intends to take it to New Phyrexia to have the device complete its purpose, wiping out the Phyrexians once and for all. Karn moves from awkward to badass in just one scene. Jaya had come to Dominaria as a friend to protect him and his excavation from Multani, the forest's avatar who's been attacking them with elementals. Multani is a kind soul, but he's been in a semi-conscious state for years, regrowing from when he was last exploded from, well, the Cylex. So wait, is this the one used by Urza? Okay, my brain hurts. Anyway, under normal circumstances, Multani would approve of Karn taking it off Dominaria if he were awake. But for now, he just senses something is threatening Dominaria and he's forced to defend the plane. Again, Multani's forces attack and the 3 planeswalkers take the defensive. They burn and shatter the elementals until the half-awake Multani, the avatar of Yavimaya himself, steps into the battle. The group doesn't relish fighting this ally in the state he's in, and luckily they don't have to, as the forest itself freezes. It's time magic. A skyship flies above them, and Karn and Jaya understand exactly who had arrived. Teferi could only hold Multani long enough so they could climb up to the ship, but Chandra wants to try something first. Attempt to bring the Avatar back from his frenzied state. She thinks back on the lessons she's learned from Nissa Ravane, the mantra she would hum to her when her fire and passions were out of control, something that tempered her fury. She spoke these words to Multani, while frozen of course, but as the time magic gave way to reality, Chandra's words seemed to have made an impact. Multani walked back into the forest, calm as a clam. Jaya was impressed by her student. Back on the Weatherlight, old friends were reunited and new allies would meet for the first time. Teferi and Jhoira got to see Karn again, their long-lost friend who had been such a huge part of their lives and stories. Karn and Jhoira shared a touching moment as they discussed the fate of Venser. Once a suitor of Jhoira's, Venser had sacrificed himself in order to save Karn from the Phyrexians years ago, though it wasn't what Karn wanted, but they both agreed that it was his choice to make. Then the conversation turns to current affairs. What are they doing exactly? Jhoira lays out her plans to kill Belzenlok and to basically end the Cabal, but that's not their plan. She thinks Teferi and Karn both should go with the Gatewatch to fight Nicol Bolas. Karn protests, saying New Phyrexia is his next target, and Teferi kindly reminds his misguided friend that he's no longer a Planeswalker. His spark was gone. But did it have to be? Jhoira holds out a small power stone hanging from her neck. It's Teferi's spark. Now, we don't know how she came into possession of such a thing of power. All she really says is the mana rig. That's literally it. Care to elaborate a little bit? Surely this isn't just some power stone, right? Did it somehow capture Teferi's spark when he returned Shiv to its place in time and reality? Who knows? We see the reunion of Chandra and the Gatewatch with Gideon letting her know their plan to take on Belzenlok. Without the chain veil, they're stuck using the Blackblade Reforged, an evil weapon forged from souls with the power to kill an elder dragon. Surely it can kill a demon, right? First, they needed to get inside the stronghold and find it. Then, out of nowhere, another member of the Gatewatch shows up. Not Nissa, but this time it's Jace Beleren. Full-on pirate Jace, straight off of Ixalan. With his memories back and bumping into a Johnny Goldmane, it seems plans were set for the Gatewatch to join them on the plane of Ravnica. Bolas is heading there with the Immortal Sun to spring a trap and possibly destroy the plane. They needed to meet with Ajani and his new allies. Yes, Ajani actually brought new allies for us to see. So after all the questions and answers on where he's been, we come to the obvious conclusion. Gideon and the rest refuse to leave. They had promised to rid Dominaria of Belzenlok, so they were gonna stick back and finish the mission. Again, not heeding Ajani's advice through a proxy. Are they ever gonna learn? Out of all this though, the interesting thing is how Jace treats Liliana. He's cold to her, pointing out how she's obviously manipulating them all for her own benefit, and that she'll do nothing but lead them to ruin. Jace simply tells Gideon to not be a fool as he was and vanished. Cool. Thanks, Jace. Now back to Dominaria. Jeez, jumping a set ahead of things, aren't we? Teferi trails off with Jhoira to talk more about his spark, bringing up the fact that he had fought Bolas once before and lost in hilarious fashion. These new allies don't know that though, and perhaps this is all fate coming full circle. With a hearty thank you, Teferi accepts Jhoira's gift and the Time Mage becomes a Planeswalker once again. And there you guys go, the latest chapter of Dominaria lore as we get closer to the climax of this saga and head into our return to Ravnica. You can find out more on that in a video I posted linked in the description below. For now though, what do you think about the events which brought Teferi his spark back? I felt like it was rushed and oversimplified, but did it work for you? What about Karns Cylex? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's also time to announce our Patreon card of the video, available to any member of the Vorthos army on Patreon. This week, the card is Multani, the crazed avatar of Yavimaya who was calmed by Chandra Nalaar. Remember, you can check out all the great benefits to joining the Vorthos army by checking our Patreon linked in the description of the video. As always, you can also support the channel by giving this video a like, sharing it across the multiverse, and as well as becoming a subscriber and hitting that bell. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time here on the Ether Hub.